Born in Hazelhurst, Mississippi in 1911, Robert Johnson's life began in obscurity. His mother Julia was a sharecropper, and his father Noah abandoned the family when Robert was young. Raised by his stepfather, Robert's early life was marked by poverty and instability, common experiences in the Deep South at the time. The Mississippi Delta, where he grew up, was a place where hard labor and blues music intertwined. From a young age, Johnson was drawn to music, but early accounts suggest he struggled. Bluesmen often remarked that Johnson lacked the talent to pursue a career in music. He played in front of crowds, but it wasn't uncommon for people to ask him to stop. Yet Johnson was not one to give up. In the early 1930s, he disappeared for a time, a period that would later become the cornerstone of his legend. When he returned, something had changed, dramatically. Legend has it that during his absence, Robert Johnson made a deal with the devil at the Crossroads, specifically the intersection of Highways 49 and 61 in Clarksdale, Mississippi. This fateful encounter, said to have taken place at midnight, is one of the most famous supernatural tales in music history. Some believe the true crossroads where Johnson made his pact is near Dockery Farms. Robert Johnson's time at Dockery Farms, often referred to as the birthplace of blues, played a crucial role in his musical development. Dockery Farms, a large cotton plantation in Mississippi, was a hub for early Delta blues musicians. Legendary artists like Charlie Patton, Howlin' Wolf, and Son House spent time there, and it became a gathering spot for musicians. Johnson spent time at Dockery Farms, learning from these musicians and immersing himself in the Delta blues tradition. This period also contributes to the mystique surrounding Johnson, especially in relation to his supposed deal with the devil at the Crossroads, which people often associate with his sudden and extraordinary guitar talent. Before becoming the guitar master we know today, Johnson struggled to play. According to the story, Johnson, leaving in the dead of night, desperate to master the blues, brought his guitar to the Crossroads and waited. A tall, dark figure, often described as the devil, appeared and took the guitar from him. The figure tuned the instrument, played a few chords, and handed it back, sealing the deal. In exchange for his soul, Robert Johnson would become the greatest bluesman in the world. When Johnson returned, his guitar playing had transformed. Gone were the awkward, clumsy strums. Instead, he played with otherworldly precision that left listeners stunned. He could now effortlessly perform complex chords and melodies that defied expectation. His recordings, still revered today, showcase not just raw emotion, but technical brilliance. Over just 2 recording sessions in 1936 and 1937, Robert Johnson laid down 29 tracks that would shape the sound of legends like Muddy Waters, Bob Dylan, and Eric Clapton. But he never lived to see the impact of his work. His first session took place in November of 1936 at the Gunter Hotel in San Antonio, Texas, and the second in 1937 at the Vitagraph Warner Brothers Exchange Building in Dallas, Texas. In a twist, the First Presbyterian Church of Dallas bought the building at 508 Park Avenue, preserving the legacy of the bluesman who sang about walking alongside Satan. In the years that followed, Robert Johnson became a traveling musician, playing juke joints and street corners across the South. Women, whiskey, and heartbreak were frequent subjects in his songs, but so too were darker themes: death, damnation, and the devil. Some of the most famous songs like Crossroad Blues, Hellhound on My Trail, and Me and the Devil Blues seem to allude to the fateful bargain he made. While Robert Johnson's musical talent was undeniable, his life was tragically short. On a hot Saturday night in August, Johnson and fellow bluesman Honey Boy Edwards were playing at a juke joint behind the Three Forks Grocery just outside Greenwood, Mississippi. Accounts of what happened next vary, but the most widely accepted story is that Johnson was poisoned. It's believed that he had been flirting with a married woman, and her jealous husband laced a bottle of whiskey with strychnine. Johnson, unaware of the danger, drank from the bottle and became violently ill. He died a few days later, on August 16, 1938, at the age of 27. The exact circumstances of Johnson's death remain unclear, but his passing marked the beginning of what is now known as the 27 Club, a tragic collection of musicians and artists who died at the age of 27 under mysterious or violent circumstances. Johnson, the first member, would later be joined by legends like Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, Kurt Cobain, and Amy Winehouse, all of whom left a lasting mark of music and culture before meeting tragic fates. After his death, Robert Johnson was buried in an unmarked grave in Mississippi. The exact location still a mystery. 3 different sites claim to be the final resting place. The grave at Mount Zion is the most widely accepted. A headstone placed in the cemetery inscribed with Robert L. Johnson, May 8, 1911 to August 16, 1938, musician and composer. He influenced millions beyond his time. The gravestone also features a biblical quote Johnson wrote before his death: "I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he will call me from the grave." Despite his short life, Johnson's influence of modern-day music is undeniable. From Eric Clapton to the Rolling Stones, countless artists have drawn inspiration from his work. Johnson's haunting melodies, coupled with the legend of his devilish deal, have immortalized him as one of the most enigmatic figures in music history. Whether the Crossroads tale is truth or fiction, his impact on the world of blues and rock remains indisputable. During his mysterious disappearance, Robert Johnson was said to have learned from a seasoned bluesman named Ike Zimmerman, whose unconventional practice of playing guitar in graveyards added a haunting edge to the blues. Zimmerman believed cemeteries provided an ideal environment, free from distractions and complaints, where the silence of the dead allowed him to perfect his craft. Night after night, he and Johnson would slip away to Beauregard Cemetery, sitting on tombstones under the moonlight. In these eerie, quiet hours, Johnson's guitar skills transformed. The music they played infused with otherworldly quality, fueling the rumors that Johnson had made a pact with the devil. Yet, according to those who knew him, this intense dedication over the course of those years is what truly shaped him in the legendary guitarist we now recognize. Though myths of deals of the devil persist, Johnson's actual life story, his drive, his hardships, and his relentless pursuit of mastery was the foundation of his legacy. He was not merely good at playing the blues. His raw talent and innovation reshaped the future of music itself, so much so that his skill was seen as supernatural. The narrative of him selling his soul became an emblem of rock and roll's rebellious roots, a story so captivating that it mirrored the cultural shift Johnson's music embodied. Yet what truly happened was more interesting. A man, broken and desperate for meaning, spent countless nights honing his craft in a cemetery, emerging as a pivotal figure who forever changed the landscape of modern music. His story, whether legend or truth, stands as a testament to the idea that passion and perseverance can create something that transcends the ordinary. Rest in peace, Robert Johnson.